Hi. I'm writing this at 3:30 in the morning after seeing a particularly depressing reel on Instagram. Why I scroll there in the first place is a mystery, to be honest. I think I'm stuck in the dopamine trap that plays for me, endlessly consuming slop that I don't and will never feel satisfied watching. So instead of wasting more time, I wanted to write out what I've had requested at least a dozen times now. A thought-out response to the statement, "I wish I could be creative." Note that none of this is objectively factual or based off evidence, only my anecdotal experiences I'd like to share. Let's start from the basics. The first building block to achieving a creative workflow would be to simply think about the specifics of the media you enjoy. Let's say you'd like to start drawing. Figure out what's pulling you towards wanting to pick that up. Could it be the influence of a specific artist? A piece of artwork which deeply entertained or spoke to you personally? Or do you feel that you should be able to draw because you lack skill in the discipline? Maybe you've been criticized for your lack of ability in the past and want to compensate by improving. There's nothing wrong with this, of course, but I'll tell you this, you won't find the seeds of creativity in insecurity. You could learn to draw and be great at it hypothetically, but the motivation behind it won't lead you to create something special. No matter how many safe, by-the-book, still-life sketches you produce, you'll never develop creatively. I found that as a starting point, picking one of these two seeds to sow end up working well. Either taking direct inspiration from existing art that you genuinely care about, and learning how to deconstruct the process the artist went through to create it, or throwing your lived experiences, emotions, or interests onto an already existing, accessible canvas. I feel that both options are an amazing place to start for somebody who hasn't established their creative flow yet. After that, the next step is to follow through. What I've always heard from my friends and subscribers is that they're worried about judgment for being bad at their craft. Or worse yet, they feel shame even without sharing what they create. To be incredibly blunt, please realize that everyone is terrible at their discipline when they first start learning. But regardless, comparisons should be the last thing on your mind if you've picked up a creative passion. Hell, even years into pursuing it, comparisons will always be the theft of your joy. To follow through means to commit, which means to do it for yourself, not to please other people around you. Then it's only a matter of time until the hassle isn't worth it anymore. The criticism you may or may not receive will extinguish the once hungry flames of self-expression that used to burn so brightly. I think an understated aspect of productive creativity is to not shoehorn yourself into a discipline you don't actually enjoy. Let's be real, creative passions are seldom profitable enough to be turned into a career. And even if they are, that's likely going to be after years of refining skill, networking, and constantly pushing to improve. So, if you lose enjoyment in pursuing the craft in which you initially did for yourself, but wake up one day with it as a necessity to survive, well, I mean, at that point, of course you're not enjoying it anymore. It simply isn't the same craft you fell in love with. However, if you're doing it for yourself with no financial incentive or livelihood riding on it, then why force yourself to keep doing it? Learn to take a break from your discipline if it isn't serving you creatively anymore. Otherwise, your fruits will be hollow, lacking in nutritious fulfillment. Then finally, the looming threat of burnout will take another piece on the board, inching closer to a world where you're disillusioned against the craft for an unfavorable amount of time. The last thing I'd like to mention very briefly is finding which audience works for your journey. I find that sharing what I create with my close friends during and after the creative process adds another large layer of fulfillment, keeping me going. Working amongst a group of people that are also hard at work helps me stay focused as well. That said, other people are very, very different. What works for me might be the worst possible scenario for your creative workflow. You might find that solitude works best, or not even sharing your creative output with anyone in the first place. Nobody ever said it had to be shared. You're allowed to have a creative passion and not share it with a single soul. Try some different environments and see what works for you. Maybe ask for feedback from your peers, find people with common interests, and bounce ideas off of each other. Just don't stop until you've found a process which complements how you do it. The magic of creativity is how the journey is unique to you, and how no formula could replicate one-to-one just how truly special your mind can be. Anyway, that's all I've got to say today. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to try something new the next time you want to do something creatively. It might just change the way you view the whole process.